So, how's everybody doing? I'm gonna finish this consciousness thing off because really what I want to talk about is, well, how it all happens. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys the conclusion I finally got to, because it's not that I find Ascension to be, like we have these New Age terms, but these New Age terms and what I'm focusing on is that it distracts everybody from what they need to be doing. So. Here is this. And of course I suck at drawing, but anyways. So let's talk about this. This is normal non-spirit thought. Okay, and let's go back to putting this in the middle. I hope we can see this because, it's really gray where I live right now. So this external part is the non-spiritual self. Now we'll just say that this part is the circle is spirit. Okay, so we should do, however, is we'll just there. Okay, so the circle is spirit. Now, as we progress in our worlds, as we become more and more interested in, say, spirituality or enlightenment or, whatever, this begins to happen. Okay? We're not, there's no ascension, right? There's something even simpler. The simplest way to describe everything that we're trying to accomplish as twin flames, as human beings, as spiritual people, is we're trying to express this. That's what we're doing. That is exactly the only thing that we are doing, because we are refining our consciousness. The more that we focus on, intuition, the more that we focus on symbols, omens, numbers, songs, TV, and on and on and on and on, synchronicity and kismet, and the more we focus on that, the more we're doing this. We're refining ourselves, because what we're refining conscious. Right? We're not ascending, we're not doing anything special, we're not, we're literally refining our consciousness. That's all that we're doing. We're not doing anything more than that. Because basically, as Aladdin is, excuse me. Right? Well, you've got, that's as far as I can, looks more like a police badge, but whatever. There's your diamond in the rough, right? It's like, this is, again, if this is a diamond, waking consciousness, non-spiritual, true consciousness, which resolves to self. Okay? So, don't get caught up in the idea of, you're doing something that's mystical and magical and blah, blah, blah. Because even though that may be true on a personal level, That's not true in the world. That's not true in reality. All you are doing is becoming more and more attuned. Now, the more and more attuned you are, the better off you are. That's why the whole twin flame thing talks about, focusing on this and, incorrectly calling it ascension. And let's talk about what happens with consciousness. We're going to do this nice little thing, and I've been waiting days and days to do this, so hopefully that kind of works. Anyways, that's what I'm trying to show you, is my retarded version of an atom. So here's true divine unrealized self. Okay? Well, one of these is conscious. One of these is unconscious. Now, again, we could take this and we could just simply, right? In same idea, same premise, because, in the middle of Tao, there just is. So, this is what you're doing. Now, what's most important, and this is why another thing about ascension that I'm not, thrilled about, because what a lot of people aren't talking about is this concept here. Okay? So this is the iceberg, okay? This is the iceberg drawing because I don't remember who it was, but there was a man who drew this originally, and this is the most brilliant thing. And this is why I always tell you guys to do your work. Because this right here is where most of you are. You're so focused on external that you miss, behavior, right? And if you're lucky to know about your behavior, well, how many of you actually know about this? Okay? You guys think that there's this divine God, there's this, all this stuff that's happening because God wills it, God wants it, God does, Guess what? That's where God is. God is your unconscious. Because God is the unconscious moving forward. Now, in science, they have something called dark matter. And I forgot to look this up last night, but if I'm not mistaken, dark matter is what they believe creates the universes. It creates everything, because out of everything comes dark matter. So, out of everything comes dark matter. Okay, well, there's your unconscious. There's what you don't know. This is where your behaviors, when you were triggered by your twin flame, when all of that anger, when all that shit started and all that stuff went bad, it's all here. Everything was an unconscious reaction to your twin flame. Because your twin flame and you, united, came here. Pure light, pure energy, pure love. But where is this? Where is this? This is buried, right? We're just going to draw a nice little... This is buried so deeply within you that unless you're removing all of these barriers to love, like Rumi says, unless you're dealing with your, not looking at your externals and you're starting to deal with your behaviors to find the unconscious roots to uncover what God is to you. Because the more you deal in your unconscious behavior, the more you deal in the things that are prompting you to behave improperly or prompting you to focus on external reasonings, such as, property, money, all these things, well, it's all down here. So let's show you a different way of how this is all working. That's a very, plain Jane kind of thing, but there's also this thing called so and we'll just stick this one in here. And we'll just do this, we'll do this, we'll do this, this, this. I think, yeah, that, and that. I think that's everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tree of Life. So you want to be ascending. So you want to be, you want to be special. Well, this right here, Binah represents the divine feminine. Okay? Now, in the Christian dogma, this is the, what's her name? The Virgin Mary, the mother of God, because the mother of God gives birth to God, right? So here is the point of creation in the feminine that gives birth to the Son. The Son is the giver of life, right? Oh my God, science about Jesus. So there's your feminine. Binah is also your unconscious. Now, you have Hakma, which is father, also can represent a state of consciousness, but not an ego, just an awareness of consciousness. Now, in a true form, not in a psychological form, this doesn't confer consciousness, because consciousness basically stops here. Most people don't get past here. These are your primal instincts right here. This would be your awareness. This would be soul unified. I am kind of stuff. Okay? Now, according to the Kabbalah, Jesus only made it to here. But anyways, the point of the story is dark matter, right? So suddenly, dark matter has a feminine form. The unconscious, with males, would be the animus, is the waking level, and the anima is the unconscious, according to Jung. So that's what's going on, kids. That's what's happening with your consciousness. That's why you're not ascending, descending. You're not going, left, right, center, back and forth. Okay? Now, one last thing for the day is we have and then now, how does this go? I think these two, and then this one, and this one, I believe. I forget exactly how these all go, but air, earth, this is totally wrong, but this is just for a moment. So we have air, earth, fire, and water. We have Yod He Vav He. In Christianity, this is Jehovah, improperly pronounced, and I know these two are missing some lines somewhere. I don't really care. Because what I'm trying to show you is that this is how you can look at the universe, is that, you know, here we have, what do these four elements add up to? Nature. What is alchemy about? Alchemy is about taking these and finding their best properties and creating the best version of you. So we have nature, which somehow went from you know, the feminine, which I think is funny because we have what? Mother Nature. So we have Mother Nature. Yet the Hebrews in their Tetragrammaton have Yod He Vav He. Again, air, earth, fire, water. And there's much more deep stuff than that. I mean, I'm just fucking around mostly with this. But this is all translated to mind, body, spirit, emotion. We can get into feng shui with this. We can do a whole lot of stuff, because as long as you have too much mind, you don't have enough emotion. If you have too much body, you don't have enough spirit. So we're always looking for a way to keep all of this in balance. We're always looking for a way to bring this back to center. So, you, my fellow twins, you're really trying to find balance between truth and love. And in order to find a balance, you need to be on solid ground, right? If you go up, there's no balance. If you go down, there's no balance. So, if you guys want to find out what's really going on, why it's all happening, you have to come back into a balance. You have to come back to reality. Now, what I really want to tell you is this big secret that none of the twin flame people talk about. I mean, some of them do, and maybe not as bluntly as this, but I'm going to show you who created the runner situation. For those of us who understand that we were the twin flame, and then our twin flame ran from us, we all sort of were brokenhearted because we're like, what the fuck? Why did this happen? Like, you know, this was supposed to be, why did this person run away? Well, guess who created that problem? You did. I did, you did, we did. We made them run. We didn't sit back and hold love. Okay? We saw, well, because of the you know, God particle, we kind of vomited up this nice little word here. Okay? Now, I know this isn't going to go over well with a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to deal with their shit. But this is what happened. Because if this happened to me, this happened to you. So if you're actually admitting that you are a twin flame and that this is a real deal for you, you'll recognize that this is a real deal as well. Whoops. So you vomited up your baggage, which fucked up the relationship, all because you have unconscious issues. Excuse me. I love this board. So what are our conscious issues? Well, we could be needy, codependent, let's see what else is there. Needy, codependent, shit, I don't know. But anyways, see, the problem is with neediness comes fear of being alone. Codependence, fear of self-strength. Right? Neediness says you're afraid you're alone because you have baggage. What is your baggage? You had single child issues, divorce, or you could have been like, you know, older child, right? It comes up and it goes and it goes and it goes. So this basically branches off as much as it needs. You're codependent, so you can't be alone. Not individual. And on and on and on. Because inside of each one of these systems is 10 different ways out, okay? 10 different ways these things resonate, 10 different ways these things cause problems. Now, is it all bad? Is it all our fault? No. Because why? Because your twin flame resonates with the same issues. Your twin flame exhibits the same problems. So, you're unconscious and they're unconscious created a bit of a boom. And in the middle of this boom was love. Now, this may never come back again. Okay? We have to accept that. We have to recognize that this love may never happen. That divine love may never happen. But I am, as a twin flame, going to hold on to that thought because I'm going to see if I can make that happen. Why? Because of this. Because I know what's inside my head. I have spent 7 years using Reiki to change that. Because I didn't want to be here. And I didn't want to be here because my behavior was pure shit. I was an asshole. I was needy. I was, you know, all these different things that happened. It was a verbal, like it was if, you know, like you're watching Supernatural, that TV show, and like the darkness comes. Well, the darkness kind of just spewed out of me. Now, as it's spewing out of me, it's spewing out of him. My darkness is pushing me this way, his darkness is pushing him this way. And in the middle, the sacrifice is love. Okay? We push them away, but not because we were such horrible people, but because they're, you know, boom, right? So then they talk about ascension. They talk about how we need to fix things. We need to, you know, do whatever it is, whatever it is, right? Depending on who you're listening to, who you're following, blah, 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 blah. So we're all trying to get this going. But in order to get this, well, this has to come before this, right? Which is why I keep telling you guys that if you want this to fix itself, you have to go here. Which is why I have spent the last several videos talking about this. Because once you start to see this, you can learn how to see this. So once you see this, you can undo that, okay? And you can get this back on track. So for right now, that's me. That I really needed to kind of, you know, do this with you guys. So there you go. That's me. That's you guys. That's today's lesson in, you know, information, and it's now 26 minutes. Anyways, hope it makes sense. Bye.